Thanks very much. Hey, everyone. Just get a bit of a show of hands who's here. So who is a startup? All right. Who's looking for money? Anyone want some money? Yeah, cool. Okay, and if you're looking for news, you want to be covered, you can certainly come and chat to me. I'm here to help you tell your stories to Europe, UK, and the wider audience at Tech.eu, which includes the US. There we go. All right, maybe we'll start with some intros. Staffan and Ondrej, lovely to have you here on stage. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your firms and what you cover, and maybe some companies, and then we can kind of dig into AI a little bit? Who'd like to start?
Okay, I'll start. So first of all, great to be here. Thanks for having us. Creandum's been around for 23 years. We're a pan-European venture firm doing seed and A. I think we've invested in 25 out of Europe's 44 countries, I just checked. And we do that from 3 locations, Berlin, London, and Stockholm. And since 15 years, we've had an office in San Francisco because we think that the bridge to the US is more important than ever, and I guess we'll come back to that. On the AI side, some of the companies we're in are Lovable, obviously, Black Forest Labs, Nexus out of Lithuania, and a couple more.
Okay, Ondrej.
Good morning. So I'm Ondrej. I'm with Credo Ventures. We've been around since 2010, and I've been investing in Romania since 2012. That was the year of my first Romanian investment, Brainient. It was an early success story for the country. We invest early, pre-seed and seed. Over the 15 years, we've made over 100 investments, and some of the more recent ones, and in particular in or around AI, we're an investor in ElevenLabs, which is another very much loved company, AI company out of Europe. We are in Ezra AI, Resistant, Price Effects, and many others. We were a UiPath investor, but that was the previous generation of AI.
Great. Alrighty. So obviously we talk a lot about the dominance of the US and Asia, or particularly China when it comes to AI. But I'm really interested, what strengths does Europe bring to the table? What strengths does Europe bring to the table when it comes to AI?
Well, I can start.
Yeah.
I think, it's what one needs to remember when you do this traditional comparison, Europe and US, is that in the US, the ecosystem started, 50 years ago. Late 60s, early 70s, semiconductor industry, that led to many things. And Europe, with a few exceptions, maybe the Nordics and the UK, but was very nascent, didn't really have a tech ecosystem. I think the evolution since then has actually been pretty amazing. And the things that I think stand out for Europe is, first of all, there's 500 million people here, right? It's 500 million people. On top of that, we have great education. So a big portion of this 500 million people actually get access to great education. And thirdly, we're starting to have the role models, and we can come back to that. But many years back in the Nordics, we had a unicorn created almost every year, but they never became more than that, and they sold out.
Yeah.
Right? Today, Spotify, where we were an early investor, it's a $150 billion company. Who would have thought that 10, 12 years ago?
Absolutely. What about you, Ondrej? Do you have any thoughts?
So, I think when we started Credo, we always tried looking at the world, not at countries, not at markets, and even like the question or the comparison of Europe and the United States, I feel like is a little misleading. It's always about, individual people or teams, founding teams, startups. And I feel there's a lot that Europeans, or at least some Europeans, can bring to the table. So although Europe as a geo has some challenges, we're a very fragmented, geography, and we speak many languages, and we have many, legal systems and tax systems and so forth. I think it has been now proven that amazing companies can be built anywhere. Romania was a desert when I start in terms of startup ecosystem when I started coming here. But then boom, a decacorn was minted, not just a unicorn, but a company worth 35 billion at the IPO. And I truly believe this is possible, and it actually is happening. Lovable and ElevenLabs are, probably now the most amazing and most loved AI companies in Europe. And one of them comes from Stockholm, and the other one is by Polish founders.
Yeah.
Like, look how beautiful this is. So what does Europe have to offer? A lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great optimism. I agree. And so with this, you're both investors. You're sitting here. You hear people pitching all day or sending you pitch decks. How do you think about AI from an investment perspective? And what kinds of things are you looking for from potential startups that might be sitting here interested in, connecting with you?
Well, I think the ABC of investing is, team, product, and market. And I think if we were to pick one thing, it would be the individuals that, Ondrej alluded to. I think the one thing that has changed with AI, one thing that has changed is the speed at which these companies are built. And going back to the comparison with Europe and US, I think here, Europe in general has some catching up to do. We spend a lot of time in San Francisco. Rounds are happening in 3 to 5 days. Companies sometimes raise 3-4 weeks after the previous round, etc. We are seeing this in European startups as well, but maybe not to the same extent as we're seeing in San Francisco. So in addition to, again, team, product, and market, we want to see entrepreneurs with AI ambition and AI speed of iteration.
What
do you think, Ondrej?
I couldn't agree more. To build on top of what Staffan said, which I totally agree with, we have always looked at, team, product, market, especially the team. What is now stronger than ever, if we focus on the team part, we've always wanted to see, ambitious, insightful, capable founders who had some sort of unique insights, who had clarity of thinking. What we now consider more important than ever is agency and ability to move fast. It's not just about the fundraising that can now happen in 3 or 4 days. It's about how quickly you iterate on the product and tech side. It's the ability to catch all those changes in AI that are coming literally, daily. It's no longer, monthly turnarounds. It's no longer, we will launch next spring. It's now. So we really are after agency.
And I just want to add one thing which should be seen as encouragement, and that is, I think European entrepreneurs today, and this is what we look for, they also realize that these companies can be built from here. We did a study a couple of years ago where we looked at what we call kids out of successful big tech companies. Klarna, who just IPO'd, is one of ours. They have close to 100 companies that have come out of Klarna. Spotify has more than 100.
Yeah.
Skype, who had their initial development in Estonia, according to Niklas, who runs Atomico, they have 600 kids and grandkids, right? So I think that this confidence that these role models show us is something that we want to see in entrepreneurs out of Europe.
One of,
We're going to put Kate out of a job here.
Yeah.
to again build on top of Staffan, this is perfect. We haven't rehearsed or anything, but one thing that makes me a little sad in Romania is that we do not see more of UiPath mafia.
Ah, okay.
Ex-UiPathers starting businesses, which, quite frankly, I was expecting. I was looking forward to, the Romanian version of Skype Mafia or PayPal Mafia. Hasn't happened yet. I am still hoping to see it soon.
And why is that?
It's a good question. Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that?
What is it? Exactly. I mean, where do you see Europe's strength lying? Do you see it more in building those foundational models and that level, or more in terms of applied AI? Where do you think startups should be shooting their shot in this space?
Well, at least for now, I think it's pretty clear that the foundational models were built in the US and that Europe sort of lost that race. No offense to Mistral or H that we're in, but I think they're not really at the top there. Having said that, we believe that over the long run, let's give it 10, 15 years, probably more value will be created in the application layer than in the foundational layer.
Right.
Now, some companies are both, right?
Yeah.
So OpenAI is a model and a phenomenal agent on top, and probably more, many agents over time.
I would agree with that. I would remind everybody that it's not a new thing. I feel like the infra part, the infra layer, has always been created elsewhere. Europe has never been strong in that part, but we've very often excelled in, bringing very cool applications and, very efficiently taking them to the market. What I would add to that, though, is if you take a look at ChatGPT and the sort of founding engineering team, you can notice that many of them are Europeans. Not just that, many of them are Eastern Europeans.
Exactly.
There are like two Poles. There's, Mira Murati is, Georgian or something, Armenian. So, I feel like even what we see in the sort of foundational model infra part shows how good Europeans can be in tech.
Amazing. Any final thoughts for the audience? We've got about just a minute to go.
I mean, maybe to end on a optimistic note. I think from our perspective, and I think I'm speaking for both of us, what's happening currently is probably the biggest revolution or innovation in tech for the last 15, 20 years. It is a phenomenal time to be an investor. I think it's a phenomenal time to be an entrepreneur. The one thing I would send along is what I call the AI speed and speed of iteration needed.
Amen. There are great times ahead of us, so keep building.
Thank you, everybody.